Hello everybody. Today we will be talking about the Science Station. Science is one of the more simple stations that has a lot of work to do up front and during combat, but is usually a little bit slower outside of those situations. So what we'll do here is get a brief explanation of how this works. If you remember, we have long-range scan mode, which Helm can access, and most of the other stations can access as well, which just give us these little dots here in these different grid squares and the location of the different space stations. Science, however, is much more detailed. So if I click on our light cruiser, the Artemis here, I find out that we have front shields of 80, rear shields of 80, what direction it's heading, its distance, and a little bit of information about them, such as, a brief description of it, what kind of beam weapons it has, what kind of torpedo weapons it has, and then the ordnance available. It also gives me a readout of the damage level of that ship. If we click on DS3 here, it just says Shield 400 because that's about all there is to it. Now, you use your mouse wheel to scroll, and we're going to go ahead and scroll out, and again, we've got these gray options here. So I'm going to scroll in on these guys down here, and to move around on the screen, you just click and drag. And let's see here, V94 looks interesting, so I'm going to click on him, and in the bottom left corner, I have the scan option. So I'm going to press that, and you'll see this little bar going around the target here. That is your scan time. If you tell engineering to increase power, that goes faster. Okay, so we've learned that this is a Kralian battleship. He is currently heading 280. He's 32k away. And he's got front shields of 32 and rear shields of 32. So he's kind of a wussy. It's not a very big ship, and he's got 2 rapid-fire beams. Okay. But if you look down here, you can scan again. So we're going to go ahead and rescan the target. You'll notice here you have a distance calculator and its current bearing. Oh, this is a lot more information. So if you remember from the weapons tutorial, these are the different frequencies that you're looking at. So A is his strongest, B is his weakest, C is middle, D is also pretty weak, and E is kind of average. It also gives you a funny little piece of intel. For example, this particular captain has complained to the Kralian High Command that Kralian ships are too weak. With 32 shields, I can see his argument. So basically what you do is you just start off scanning ships. You scan them as quickly as you can to get as much information about them as you can. If you're running engineering, you need to work with science and see if increasing power will help. If you also notice, to the left of my cursor, we have BRG 279, so that's our bearing. So helm, you need to turn to that heading, and our range of 31,906. That's our distance. If you're using a jump drive, this is absolutely critical. But if you're using warp drive, you can kind of ballpark it and be fine. Again, science is pretty straightforward. So what will happen is the captain will say, weapons, I want to target. Oh, let's see here. What target are you? X59. And so science, you need to come in and click on X59. You'll tell weapons, hey, you want to set to D because D is his weak one. Weapons will set his shield frequency to D, or his weapons frequency to D to get through the weak shield frequency, and then you'll blast him to itty bitty tiny bits. That's really about all there is for science. It's pretty easy. So good luck.